What happens when a human being challenges the creator of the heavens and the earth? What happens when pride grows so large that a person dares to stand against Allah? History is not silent about such people. The Qur'an and the lessons of the past tell us clearly, no matter how powerful, wealthy, or arrogant someone becomes, when they challenge Allah, their strength turns into weakness, their kingdom turns into dust, and their name becomes a warning for generations. This is the story of people who challenged Allah, and how their end became a sign for all humanity. In ancient Egypt, there lived a ruler whose name became a symbol of arrogance, Pharaoh. He possessed unmatched authority, commanded vast armies, and controlled a kingdom rich with rivers and fertile lands. People bowed before him, not only out of respect, but out of fear. Over time, this absolute power corrupted his heart. Gratitude disappeared, and pride took its place. Instead of recognizing that his authority was a gift from Allah, he began to believe it was his own achievement. His arrogance grew so extreme that he claimed divinity, declaring himself the highest lord of his people. Allah sent Musa, a.s., to guide him back to truth. Musa, a.s., did not come with weapons or an army, but with clear signs and a simple message: worship Allah alone and stop oppressing the people. Yet Pharaoh mocked him. He rejected the miracles shown before his eyes and accused Musa, a.s., of sorcery. The more he was warned, the harder his heart became. He persecuted those who believed, tortured the weak, and used fear to silence the truth. His challenge to Allah was not only in words, but in actions, through oppression, denial, and cruelty. When the believers finally left Egypt under the guidance of Musa, a.s., Pharaoh felt his authority slipping away. Consumed by rage and pride, he gathered his powerful army and chased them. Before them lay the vast sea, behind them thundered the forces of Egypt. It seemed as if the believers were trapped. But Allah is the Lord of all creation. By his command, the sea split open, forming a safe path for Musa, a.s., and his followers. Blinded by arrogance, Pharaoh pursued them into the parted sea, convinced that victory was within reach. But the moment the believers crossed safely, the waters returned with unstoppable force. Waves crashed down upon Pharaoh and his army, swallowing their pride and power. In his final breath, he declared belief, yet it was too late. After the time of Pharaoh, there lived a powerful nation known as the people of Awith-Makrandi. They were famous for their physical strength, towering structures, and advanced skills in building. Their cities stood proudly in the desert lands, and their confidence was unmatched. They believed no nation could defeat them. Among them, Allah sent Hud, a.s., a man from their own people, to remind them of the truth. Hud, a.s., called them gently at first. He urged them to worship Allah alone and to be grateful for the strength and prosperity they had been given. He warned them not to let pride take control of their hearts. But instead of listening, they mocked him. They accused him of foolishness and weakness. They believed that their power made them superior. Their famous words reflected their arrogance: "Who is stronger than us?" They measured strength only by physical might and worldly success. Despite repeated warnings, they refused to change. Hud, a.s., reminded them that the one who created them was far stronger than they could ever imagine. Yet their hearts were sealed by pride. They continued building massive structures, showing off their strength, and ignoring the message of guidance. Their challenge to Allah was not by claiming divinity, but by denying his authority and rejecting his messenger with stubborn arrogance. Then the punishment came. Not in the form of an army, but through nature itself. A powerful wind began to blow. At first, it may have seemed ordinary, but it did not stop. It grew stronger and colder, turning into a fierce storm. The wind raged for days and nights without pause. It uprooted their mighty buildings and threw their strong bodies to the ground. The same people who once boasted about their strength were left helpless against the invisible force of the wind. When the storm ended, their once great land was silent. Their bodies lay scattered like hollow trunks of fallen trees. Their strength, pride, and confidence had vanished. Among the people of the past was a man whose wealth became the talk of every gathering. His name was Qur'an, and he possessed treasures beyond imagination. It was said that even the keys to his storehouses were so heavy that strong men struggled to carry them. Gold, silver, and precious goods filled his vaults. When he walked among the people, he did so with pride, surrounded by luxury and admiration. Many looked at him with envy, wishing they had even a fraction of what he owned. But wealth can either soften the heart with gratitude or harden it with arrogance. In Karan's case, it hardened his heart. When sincere people advised him to be thankful to Allah, to give charity, and to remember the one who provided his riches, he responded with pride. He claimed that his wealth was the result of his own intelligence and knowledge. In his mind, success was self-made. He forgot that every ability, every opportunity, and every coin ultimately comes from Allah. His arrogance grew as his fortune increased. He displayed his wealth openly, enjoying the admiration of those who were impressed by worldly success. Some people even began to say that they wished to have what Karan had been given. They saw only the shine of his riches, not the darkness forming in his heart. Karan's challenge to Allah was subtle but dangerous. He denied dependence on his Creator and believed himself self-sufficient. Then came a day that no one expected. Without warning, the earth beneath Karan began to tremble. The ground split open, and before the eyes of the people, he and his treasures were swallowed. His gold could not hold him up. His knowledge could not save him. His status could not protect him. In a moment, the man who seemed untouchable disappeared into the very earth he once walked upon with pride. Those who had envied him the day before now trembled with fear. They realized that true success is not measured by wealth, and that arrogance leads only to destruction. The stories of the past are not told to entertain, but to awaken hearts. The fate of Firon, the destruction of the people warned by Hud-As, and the downfall of Karan all carry one powerful message: when human beings allow pride to replace humility, their end becomes a lesson for others. Each of them was given time. They were not destroyed without warning. Clear signs came to them. Messengers advised them. Sincere voices called them back to truth. They were reminded again and again that their power, strength, and wealth were gifts, not personal achievements independent of Allah. Yet they chose arrogance. They chose denial. They chose to challenge divine authority, either openly through claims of superiority or quietly through self-sufficiency and ingratitude. The pattern is always the same. First comes success. Then comes pride. After pride comes rejection of guidance. And when warnings are ignored repeatedly, the consequences arrive in ways no one expects. For some, it was drowning in the sea. For others, it was a raging wind. For another, it was the earth opening beneath his feet. Different forms, but the same lesson. These stories are not only about ancient nations. They speak to every generation. Challenging Allah does not always mean declaring rebellion with words. Sometimes it is living as if we do not need Him. Sometimes it is using blessings for oppression. Sometimes it is believing that our intelligence or status makes us independent. Yet within these warnings lies mercy. Allah does not rush to punish. He gives opportunities to return, to repent, to humble oneself. The door of forgiveness remains open until the final moment. The true success is not in dominating others, accumulating wealth, or displaying strength. True success is in recognizing our dependence on our Creator. History stands as a witness: those who bow in humility are elevated in honor, and those who rise in arrogance eventually fall.